Hello friends, I hope you're all safe, well and taking care of yourself. Great to know about that. Friends, yesterday in the previous episode I talked about the difference between the approaches of financial accounting and cost accounting. One question came from one of the viewers, and that was whether we can derive any cost and management related information from the published financial statements. Yesterday, of course, I had clarified in that previous video that cost and managerial information is something which is confidential. In fact, a lot of that is competitive information, not to be released to the outer world, and therefore we cannot find that kind of information in the financial reports. Having said that, the reason I thought of just making this video as a prelude to the discussion in the previous video is because that question prompted me to also give you some hints about how we can analyze the financial statements taking a cost accounting approach. So what I mean thereby is as the cost accountants go into details, as I explained in the previous video, we can also look at the cost data to the extent it's published in the financial statements and convert the financial statement, particularly the statement of profit and loss, in a way that is published into a slightly different statement which is called as contribution income statement. Now, this contribution income statement I am going to explain in greater detail in one of the later videos, perhaps taking help of a PowerPoint presentation. But for now, I thought of just deal with this matter a little bit. In the statement of profit and loss, the details of which you can see in the video that I have already created, I'll share a link to that video in the lower section, where you can see a link and open that video and see how statement of profit and loss looks in a typical financial report. But what I wanted to mention to you is that the same statement of profit and loss can be reorganized, reformatted in a little different way based on our cost understanding, also based on our understanding of the behavior of costs, into a different statement which I named earlier, which is contribution income statement. Now, this contribution income statement can provide us some very, very interesting insights about which I'm going to speak a little later. But just to give you some glimpse of what we can derive from it, we can actually derive that organization's break-even point. Of course, it's an estimated break-even point. We can analyze the costs based on certain assumptions, and because assumptions creep in, we cannot find out the exact break-even point, but we can find out an estimated break-even point of the organization. We can find out its margin of safety, and I'm going to explain all these terms in a later video. More importantly, we can also analyze what is called as the operating leverage of the organization and the financial leverage. Now, it has a lot of interpretational value, and I don't want to load you right now with all that, but I just wanted to share some of this with you, particularly because a comment came, and as I've mentioned, this is not a monologue, this is a discussion, and because from a comment I thought there is something worthwhile talking about right now, I could just add to that. There's one more thing I may also mention, and in the yesteryears, maybe several decades ago, cost accounting and financial accounting records used to be disjoint because the computing systems were not sufficiently developed to actually integrate the data. Though, of course, I have worked for an organization where such records were integrated with each other, but those were very few in number. Most organizations had separate cost records and separate financial accounting records, and the two had to be reconciled. But now with integrated systems, these two data points, these two ways of looking at data are also quite integrated. So I thought of leaving that thought also behind with you. Thank you for watching. I hope you are liking these discussions, and as I have said, these are discussions, not monologues, and your comments are actually going to encourage me to create more and more content, like the video that I had not in my own mind when I created the previous video, but prompted by this comment, I thought of making these few comments as well. So thank you very much for watching. Do subscribe the my channel and also press the bell icon so that you will be notified with newer videos that I create. Thank you so much.